put your hands together for Mr. Corbin Troyer.
Hello, all right. Hi, everyone. Good evening. It's great to be back at the Indy Fringe. I think this is the third or fourth time I've been here. Thank you all for coming out. I'm going to be sharing a few of my favorite pieces of magic with you tonight. I've been doing magic for as long as I can remember, since I was a little kid. And there are so many reasons why I got into magic to begin with. But probably the coolest one was that doing magic allows you to make the impossible possible. Now, fortunately, I had the element of surprise working for me on that one. You didn't know what to expect. You didn't know that the chips were going to travel from one hand to the other, which makes the second one exponentially more difficult. Because there's nothing I can do to keep you from staring at these chips and at my hands. And so if I could ask you all to collectively blink at the same time, that would really help. So, thank you. Now, the third one isn't as difficult as the first and the second, but it's a lot more fun because you actually get to watch the chip travel visibly right before your eyes. Okay, this is the fun one. Here we go. Chip number 3. There we go. Thank you. Thank you very much. Actually, that was cheating. I know we've got some skeptics out there, so to do it right, we're going to get all 3 chips back together again. That's 1, that's 2, that's 3. And that's a pretty good way to start. So thank you very much. Now, do we have any gamblers here tonight? No gamblers? 1? Okay. Well, some of you may have heard of this classic con called the 3-card Monte. If you've heard of it or if you've played it, you know that the concept of the game is very simple, but it's an impossible game to win. So what I'm going to do tonight is something a little bit different. Magicians are not supposed to do this. I'm going to take you behind the curtain a little bit and explain to you how this con is done, okay? There's a very specific move and there's a very specific switch that the con man does in this game, and I'm going to show you how it takes place so that if you ever encounter this gentleman out on the street, you don't lose all your money, okay? So the 3-card Monte starts simple enough. It starts with a face card. We call this the money card, okay? And as long as you keep track of the queen, everything else will be all right. But of course, more and more cards become involved, and then it starts to get a little bit more complicated. And eventually you've got 3. And the whole concept is to keep your eye on this money card. He wants you to never forget where that queen is. These 2 4s over here are simply distractions, and he's going to use those to distract you. And here is the secret move that takes place. It starts when he places the queen down on the table. This game of distraction begins, and he may tap that card. He may wave this around a little bit, and when you're not paying attention, then this other hand comes in and makes a switch like this. That was it. That was the switch. That was the switch. It happens very quickly, and if you had your money on the queen being on the table, you would have already lost. You see. Now, again, it happens very quickly, but I want to show you again. I'll show you exactly when it takes place. This time we'll put the 4 on the table. The card is different, but the process is the same. Just a tapping. He may flash this 4 a little bit. He may even turn that queen upside down, hoping you forget where it is. And that's when he got you. And the switch comes again. That was it. That was the secret switch. You laugh, but that's when it happened. If you bet on the 4 being on the table, you would have lost again. Happens very, very quick. Now, the con man may place that queen away and just deal with 2 cards. The idea here is to, get your confidence up. With only 2 cards, how could you possibly forget where the queen is? That's exactly what he wants you to think. But the same switch takes place just like that. And if you thought the queen was up here in the pocket, you would have lost a 3rd time. There may even come a time during this whole con where you're asked to bet on what you think is a sure thing. Don't ever put your money on that. This is when he'll really get you. You see, and what he doesn't tell you is that the con man is a complete cheat. Of course he is. He uses extra cards. That's the whole point. But never forget that if he wants you to win, you will win. If he wants you to lose, you'll lose. Okay, but don't ever think for 1 second that you have any control over this process whatsoever, or you will lose all your money. You see, and all he needs to pull this off are 3 queens and 3 fours and a whole lot of misdirection. So be very careful if you ever run into this guy, okay? All right, we'll put the cards away for a little bit. You know, there's so many different plots in Magic. Of course, there's appearances and levitations and things transposed from one place to the other, but probably one of my all-time favorite plots is the plot of solid object through solid object, okay? This is a scientific impossibility, which makes it fun for Magic. So I'd like to have a little bit of fun with this plot tonight. I'm gonna need someone to come up and help me. So I'm gonna have to pick on somebody, and this guy here is trying to avoid eye contact with me, so we'll ask him to come up. Would you mind coming up? Yeah, all right, come on up. Stand over here for me. What's your name?
Mike.
Mike Corbett. Yeah. Thanks. Mike, do you have a wedding band that I could borrow?
I do.
Would you mind if I borrowed it? I'll be very careful with it. I promise. I've got a shoelace here. I just want you to please check it out till you're satisfied that there's nothing gimmicked about it. It doesn't pull. It doesn't stretch. It doesn't come apart. Nope. Okay. This is solid object number 1. And we've got Mike's ring over here. We know this is a solid piece of metal as well. I told you I was going to be very careful. I'm going to take good care of your ring, and I'm going to do that by threading it onto the string like that. Mm-hmm. I don't know if the rest of you can see that the ring down here in the middle of the string. Mike, if you'll just hold on to both of those ends, as long as you've got the ends, we know your ring is safe. Am I right? Mm-hmm. Okay, but this is a magic show, of course, so there's going to be some surprises every now and then. Some people actually believe, Mike, that when I'm doing this, when I'm putting the ring on the string, that I'm doing something funny, that I'm not actually putting it on. But I'm putting it on. It's right there. This is, in fact, your ring?
It is.
Way down there in the middle? Yeah. Okay. If you would do me a favor, if you would slide that glass right over in front of me, I'm going to grab your ring. That's great. Right there at roughly the middle part of that string, and if I can squeeze it at just the right moment. It comes through one more time. Well, by now you might have noticed that I am able to get this ring on and off the string without a whole lot of trouble. There's different ways I can do that. One of my favorite techniques is to just give it a little twist like that. A little twist, and we can get that string to melt off. Putting it on is a lot more fun. We just kind of toss it on like that. Well, up until now, I've been doing all the handling. I've been handling the string. I've been handling the ring. I'm going to give both of them to you now, okay? And how about we put a little wager on this?
Okay.
Does that sound fair or fun?
Possibly.
Okay, I've got $20. I got $20. It could be yours. I would like you now to put the ring on the string. Okay, you're going to do it yourself. Put it roughly in the middle of the string. Put the ring in my hand, and then with a length of string draped down on each side of my hand.
Like that?
One on that side, one on that side.
Okay.
Almost. Like this.
Sorry, gotcha.
Okay, so fair so far?
Yep.
Mike put the ring on. He even put it into my hand. And I'm even going to make it a little bit more difficult, okay? I'm going to have you tie a knot in the ends of those string. Okay, very good. Now, we'll even dial up the wager a little bit, okay? After all of that, if I'm still not able to get it off, not only will you get that 20 bucks, I'm also going to give you the contents of my wallet, okay?
Awesome.
Now it's going to get interesting. Okay. Mike put the ring on the string. He put it in my hand. He tied a knot. Here we go. But not only did the ring come off the string, it actually disappeared. Which means I get to keep my 20. I get to keep my 20 because I did get it off. But even though I won, I do want to show you what's in my wallet because this is kind of cool, okay? I'm going to do this very slowly. My hands are empty. Inside my wallet, believe it or not, got another one. Isn't that cool? There's another one inside there. And down inside that third one, I have a little piece of fabric. It's all folded up. Mike, I'm going to unfold this very slowly. I want you to see that down inside all three of those wallets, inside, folded up in that little cloth, is a ring. I think that's yours?
That's fine.
All right. Awesome. Thank you. Thank you. Okay, I've got one more piece I'd like to share with you, and it's really more of an experiment than a trick. I'll explain what I mean in just a second, but I am going to have to ask someone else to come up and help me. And ma'am, would you mind coming up to help?
Sure.
Let's give her some encouragement, huh? What's your name?
Ruth Ann.
Hi, Ruth Ann. I'm Corbett. Thanks for coming up and helping me.
Sure.
I've got a deck of cards here, and what I'd like to ask you to do is to just give them a good shuffle. Okay? Are you okay at shuffling cards?
I'm not very good.
Oh,
so I'll try.
do the best you can.
Can I use the table?
Absolutely. Yeah. I want everybody to know that there's no prearrangement with this deck. I haven't set anything up ahead of time, and I want you to.
When they see me shuffle, they'll know.
No, you're doing just fine. You're doing just fine. Keep going.
Do it again?
Yeah. I want you to be comfortable knowing that the cards are mixed and that I didn't have anything to do with their order.
Okay.
Okay?
One more. Look at that.
That's awesome.
Okay.
Okay, very good. You can put them down on the table. Now, does everybody know what a premonition is? A premonition is simply a thought or a feeling about something that's going to happen in the future, okay? And I had a premonition earlier today before I came to the theater, and it was about a playing card. And I just want to do an experiment tonight.
Okay.
There's only one way to see if a premonition is true or not, okay? So I'm thinking of a specific card. I'm hoping to find one that's going to... Again, this is an experiment, but we're going to give it a try. Ruth Ann, would you take that card, and don't look at it,
Okay.
but put it in your pocket for me?
Sure.
All right. And throughout the rest of the trick, I'm going to let you make all the choices.
All right.
All the choices, all the decisions. The direction the rest of this trick goes is completely up to you.
Okay.
Okay?
I like that.
I'm going to spread the cards out now, and now it's your turn to just, with your index finger, if you would press any card in that spread forward. Okay, and that's going to be a card for me.
That.
Okay. That's one choice you made, and you get to make another choice. I'm going to let you know that if you want to change your mind, you can. If you want to put that one back and push another one out, you can. Or we can stick with that
I think
one.
I'm okay with that one.
Okay. This will be a card for me.
Okay.
So I'm going to put that in my pocket. All right, you get to make a few more decisions.
Okay.
I'm going to start dealing the cards down, And you can tell me to stop whenever you want me to.
Okay.
I don't want to influence you in any way.
Stop.
Right there? Okay. What we're ending up with are 2 different size packs based on where you wanted me to stop, okay? You now get to choose which pack. So point to either pack. Okay. Would you turn the top card over of that one? And it's a 4, okay? We're going to use that number to go down into this pack and choose a different card.
Okay.
So we'll go down 4 cards. 1, 2, 3. That would be card number 4. Will you turn that one over for me, please? Oh, how about that? It's another 4. Something cool's happening, isn't it? Now, just a second ago, I spread out the cards. I asked you to choose any card for me. I asked you if you wanted to change your mind. You said no.
Right.
And I put that card over here in my pocket. Would you believe? Would you believe it's the third 4? And some of you might see where this is going. But I had a premonition. I told you of a specific playing card, and I asked you to put it in your pocket. Would you retrieve that one for me? There we go. Thank you very much. All right. My name's Corbett. Thanks a lot, everybody. Enjoy the night.